Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. On this one, I want to talk about how too many men assume the outcome before approaching a woman. So let's talk about it. In this new millennium, there's always a lot of videos about the modern women, the modern woman, if you will, and all these different type of women, toxic women or whatever. And when I read a lot of the comments, one of the most popular comments I'll see from the fellas is that's why I don't even approach them anymore. So here's the problem with that. If you don't approach women, you can't get women realistically. And that's also like a cop out. A cop out is always the easy way out. It's like trying to apply for a job, four jobs turn you down, and then you say, you know what? Another person say, that's why I just stay home. Now, what good does staying home do you? Because if you're looking for a job, one thing's for sure, you'll eventually find one. But if you staying home, you only gonna get broke and more broke. And here's the thing: no matter what a woman says, you have to also realize that it might not apply to you. So that's another reason why approaching is also good, because you got to understand something. Sometimes when a woman is talking, now I'm not saying that there ain't no toxic women out there. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes when a woman is talking about men in a bad way, sometimes they're talking about the men that they don't want. And when it comes to a man that they want, a lot of times all those things go out the window. So you also got to look at that too. A lot of times men will let things go over their head. Like, for instance, now, like if they know a young lady at work and they're constantly talking about this dude approached her, or this dude ain't no good, or whatever. Sometimes if a dude don't have the foresight, he'll start thinking like, man, all this girl do is complain, da da da. I'm not finna holler at her so I can be the next dude to get turned down. But you gotta understand, if she's telling you about all these dudes that she don't like, that means she doesn't see you that way. But you gotta peep that, because if you don't, it'll go right over your head. There's women, everybody talks about money, but and how that's going to be the end to all be all. But truth be told, it's a lot of lonely dudes out there with money, believe it or not. Because you got to think, if you got money, right? Because there's some people that got money, and unlike Denzel Washington, nobody knows they have money. So now, if you go into the average, bar or whatever to have a drink, you're just the average dude at that point. Nobody knows. So at that point, you have to rely on yourself, your charm, your masculine energy to attract women. And that's something that a lot of guys don't look at. A lot of times guys think, well, if I got money, I focus and get my money, everything will be right. Not necessarily. Because if you're broke now and you're thinking, okay, well, when I get money, that's going to be it. If you're not careful, when you get money, you'll lose your chick to that same dude that you was before you got the money. I need an air horn for that, but you know what I mean. So what I'm saying is, you never can get caught up into what the outcome is going to be before you talk to a woman, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You can't wait for choosing signals, because sometimes the woman is not giving you the choosing signals that the other woman would. Some women are very, direct with their eye contact or how they touch you. And then you got other women, they play it cool. And like, okay, I'm gonna see if he talked to me. I can't tell you how many times I've spoke to a young lady that I may have known from school or work, and they hit me with I was wondering when you was gonna talk to me. So for that alone, you can't get caught up into that. You know, if you coming out of a store and you see a young lady from across the road, it's a good chance she probably didn't see you. So you can't get caught up into, well, if she choose me. Nah, if you want it, you go over there and make yourself known. You don't know what she could be going through. You know, you can't get into the, well, all these new age modern women and da 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 da. Yeah, she might be lonely and just looking for a boyfriend, but you don't know that until you put yourself in position, because you got to understand something. When they say don't hate the player, hate the game, it's cliche, but it's so true. Because a lot of times you'll look at somebody that may be in a lesser position than you, and you say, "How he got that type of chick? I ain't got no chicks." But you got to understand that dude went for his, and you might have seen that same chick somewhere and just talked yourself out of it. So if that dude is sleeping on the floor in his boy's house, don't got no car, you can't get mad at him if he still had enough confidence to go holler at that chick that just so happens to be a registered nurse and got her own place. And now she's letting him push her car all over, push the whip all over town. You can't get mad at him because he had less than you, but evidently he had more confidence than you. So what I'm saying is ultimately you got to go for yours. Money is wonderful, but ultimately the money doesn't always keep them, because you have a lot of women that are greedy in the sense that they would love to have the money and the man if they could. All of that in one package. So so working on the money is good, but you gotta also work on being the man. Work on your confidence. Work on how you talk to women. Work on how you make eye contact. All these things sound simple and cliche, but it's a very important dynamic in this man woman thing and how it works. So work on yourself and stop overthinking things. Stop worrying about the outcome before you make the approach, because you really don't know what the outcome is going to be. You know what I mean? You go to a job and you apply just because the other five told you they're not hiring. That don't mean the sixth one is not going to be hiring. The sixth one that you go to may not only be hiring, they may ask you, can you start tomorrow? So it's all about cleaning the memory bank out. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some chicks that will be rude. It's going to happen. There will be some chicks that hit you with a reply to make you say, you know what? I don't even want to holler at no more chicks after this. But at the end of the day, all you be doing is bailing out on yourself. And you don't want to do that. You never want to give up on yourself in life, period. You never want to be that person that goes, well, see, that's why I don't try. Think that's basically what you're saying. Nah, because every time you step yourself out into that world and you make an attempt, you make that attempt because you're hoping for a positive result. And if you make enough attempts, positive results will come your way. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.